Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, February 10th, 2021. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief. On yesterday's media call with the county executive and the health officer, we learned that the county executive is actually quarantining himself at home after being exposed to someone that tested positive for COVID-19. This happened while he was scoping out the boat facility he wants to build at Quiet Waters Park last week. He has tested negative, and he should be back in action a little bit later on tonight or perhaps early tomorrow morning. We also learned that while there are variants of COVID-19 that are on their way to becoming dominant in the United States, our testing capabilities can't detect that, and it can only be done by sequencing by the lab, and that's handled by the state on their own terms. So we're not really sure what's happening there, and it's not something that a testee can request. We also learned that the county executive is considering loosening up some of the restrictions, and they are likely businesses that are still restricted to 25% capacity. Fingers crossed there. And finally, the whole contact tracing at the restaurants. They have not used it at all. And both the county exec and the health officer seemed surprised when I said that many people are putting down fake names and numbers, and even the county executive's name and number when they do register. Some great news for hotels, B&Bs, and inns in the county. The Anne Arundel Economic Development Corporation is getting ready to unload $5 million of grant money to help them out. Applications will be accepted online beginning Friday, February 19th. And to qualify, you need to have 10 or more rooms if you're a hotel or a motel, and 5 or more rooms if you are a bed and breakfast or an inn. You have to affirm that your revenues are down at least 25%. Shouldn't be hard to do. Of course, you need to be a legit business in good standing and all that. All of the details can be found at the AAEDC website under the Hotel Relief Grant Program page. AAEDC.org is the website. Oh, and if you are a VRBO or an Airbnb with a lot of bedrooms, sorry, you don't qualify. As the debate over the vaccine shortages continue, Maryland's acting health secretary Dennis Schrader has suggested that Marylanders apply to be notified of available vaccine appointments on as many platforms as they can. Giant, Walmart, county health departments, Maryland state health departments, CVS, etc. Seems like he's kind of throwing in the towel, if you ask me, and I'm not sure why a centralized appointment program was not set up by the state. It's not like we didn't see this day coming. I saw an interesting tweet yesterday from @Diana_Vasilakis saying, quote, Hogan clearly playing politics with the vaccine, unquote. And she attached a spreadsheet that, and I'm really trying to verify some of the numbers right now, but it shows that in the counties that have a solid Republican majority of voters, they have received doses equal to 7% of the population. For counties that are very closely split, which is Wycomico, Kent, and Talbot, they got 12% in relation to their population. But the majority Democratic counties, also the most populous, only received doses for 4% of the population. Things that make you go, And Kim Dacey from WBAL also noted that 2 weeks ago, Maryland ranked 40th in effective vaccine distribution in the United States and D.C., and yesterday we were ranked 44th. We're going the wrong direction. Comptroller Peter Franchot released a video yesterday morning reminding Marylanders that they can save some big bucks this weekend from February 13th through the 15th if you buy an Energy Star appliance. Well, most of them anyway. There will be no tax on that purchase. This also extends to some light bulbs, programmable thermostats, solar water heaters, and more, but probably not on that wine cooler you've had your eye on. So if you are in the market, you can definitely save some coin. And finally, another call for businesses for our Saturday Business Spotlight that we will be ramping up again this Saturday. Any business in the county can jump on and record a podcast and tell the world, or at least a slice of the world that listens to this podcast or follows us on Facebook or Twitter or reads eyeonannapolis.net, all about their business. It's free. There's no obligations. Just send me an email to info@eyeonannapolis.net. If you are recommending a business, I'll reach out to them. Just send me their contact information. If you are a business, send me an email. We'll get you scheduled. We're going to kick it off again on Saturday with the AAEDC and a new program they have for minority businesses. And then the following Saturday, we're going to have Health Source of Crofton. And then we're going to be rolling. I already have about 6 more scheduled and in the can. So you want to make sure you stay tuned for that. Okay, that wraps up the news for us today. As always, thank you for listening. And if you are somewhere where you can leave a rating or a review, please do. And make sure you let your friends, family, and colleagues all know about us. A quick thank you to our sponsors for this daily news brief, Solar Energy Services in Millersville, and to the Kristi Neidhardt Team of Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster company. Hang tight, we've got George Young with DCMD VA Weather standing by with your locally forecast weather report. Rumor has it that winter is not ready to leave the room just yet. All that gets underway in just 1 minute after we hear from Rick Peters from Solar Energy Services.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Are you kicking yourself for not installing solar in 2020, missing out on that sweet 26% federal income tax credit? Not to worry, because legislation passed at the very end of 2020 extended the 26% tax credit, which means consumers like you can act now to get that credit and have your new solar system up and running before springtime when solar generation moves into peak season. Plus, in addition to the feds, several state and county incentives help to make the solar investment an even bigger no-brainer. Don't have the cash? We've got you covered with competitive financing that is more than offset by the energy savings. Bottom line, Uncle Sam wants you to install solar, and so does the state of Maryland. And you're going to love the savings, so what are you waiting for? Sunshine's a wasting. Contact us today for a free solar design at 410-923-6090 or visit us at solarsaves.net.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMD VA weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMD VA weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMD VA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Wednesday, February 10th. Yesterday worked out pretty well with highs several degrees above average, but today through Friday and beyond should be much more active and wintry in all respects. Look for highs in the mid to upper 30s today before snow breaks out in the late afternoon or early evening hours, lasting off and on into mid or late Friday as 2 or 3 separate waves of low pressure move along a boundary line to the south of Anne Arundel County, likely delivering a widespread 3 to 6 inches of snow to the area by the time Friday evening rolls around, with an outside shot that some snow totals could climb into the 6 to 9 inch range. From there, cold will remain for days and will be reinforced by a steadily advancing push of Arctic air moving into the eastern U.S., starting this weekend and lasting through much of next week, with 2 or 3 additional chances of snowfall for the area starting this weekend, followed by another potential storm early next week, with some models suggesting one more storm after that before the end of next week rolls around. Bottom line, winter is about to get wintry and conditions will very likely turn white starting late tonight, and they could easily stay white for much of the rest of the month of February, as that snowpack combined with advancing Arctic air could produce some AM lows in the coming days in the 0 to 10 degree range for much of the mid-Atlantic region. So be sure to do whatever you might still need to do to protect your home from frozen pipes, and also consider throwing a blanket, extra sweatshirt or jacket, and some hat and gloves in the car just in case you are out and about and experience some unexpected car trouble, especially if driving in the nighttime hours. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DC MD VA Weather. Make it a great day out there. Stay healthy and be safe, and be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching DC MD VA Weather in the Apple or Google App Stores, and also be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and use our website each day by visiting DCMDVAweather.com so you can always stay weather informed. And definitely look for a midday or early afternoon update today on the Eye on Annapolis platform right before this latest shot of winter weather moves into the region.
Another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt of the Kristi Neidhardt Team from Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster company.
Did you know that home values jumped over 10% on average in 2020? And we are expected to see more increases over the next 3 to 6 months. What's causing this rise in value? First, limited inventory. We have about 60% fewer homes on the market right now than we did the same time last year. Second, low interest rates. People can afford more home right now, and that is very appealing. Third, increased buyer demand. We literally have over 20 interested and qualified buyers waiting for the right home to come on the market, and we are not alone. If you were ever thinking of timing the market just right to get the highest price in recent history, your time has come. My team is available and ready. Give us a call today. We'll check your home's value and break neighborhood records.
That's another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt. To get in touch, call 410-295-6579 or visit kn-team.com. That's kn-team.com.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.